Yo, it's your boy Logos, and throughout many of my videos, I reference my love for video games, my love for Twitch, and how I've been watching Twitch for at least 10 or so years now. I've been watching Twitch before it was even called Twitch. When it was called Justin.tv, you could live stream TV shows, movies. You didn't have to worry about getting banned or getting caught. So that's how old I've been on this live streaming stuff. Well, yesterday, the biggest live streamer in the world, in my opinion, Kai Cenat, decided to do a random giveaway in New York City. This led to his fans rushing the city or rushing Union Square and causing a riot. People jumping on cars, people destroying stuff. I saw girls or older women, like younger older women, jumping on the the pedestrian signals that let you know if you can cross or not. Yeah, they were jumping on top of that, climbing the pole and twerking. Like just acting like straight animals. My first thought is this is Kai Cenat's fault. He told these people to show up here. He led them to believe they was gonna meet him at some type of meet and greet, I think. And this led to this chaos taking place. This is also the fault of their parents. Because I don't know how the hell you somehow gonna have your child go out here in the street with all these other crazy teenagers and just do whatever they do while you're not watching your children, while you're not having them be afraid of you, so afraid that they're not going to do anything like what we saw yesterday, destroying people's property, destroying people's cars, knowing damn well they don't give a damn about other people. And I'm supposed to feel bad for them, or I'm supposed to say don't be harsh on them, their kids, they don't know any better. Nah, screw that. These dumbass little these little children act like they have no sense. Like they have no home training, no class, and I just think it's disgusting. I hope Kai pays for all the damages because, for one, he can definitely afford it. It's ridiculous that taxpayers have to pay for any property that may be damaged or lost or stolen because of these stupid ass little kids. It's really a shame. I hope Kaisa not. I hope he doesn't get like serious trouble for this, like prison time. But he should definitely be fined. He should definitely be made to pay the damages. I don't care how much it is. He can afford it. I'm not trying to cry or mess about it. Don't try hearing these stupid ass teenagers talking about, man, you just a hater, man. Like, stop. Like you're not even mentally developed yet. I'm not finna hear anybody make excuses for grown, not even grown, but human beings that are not, 5, 6 years old, that can't even understand anything, jumping on cars, not controlling their emotions, and just acting like straight up jackasses. It's a shame. It's embarrassing. And it says a lot about the culture. And honestly, it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's kind of the reason I don't watch Kai, because I watch a little bit of his stuff, but when he's doing stuff about, trap and rappers and meeting up rappers and all the other stuff that I don't give a damn about, and I think it's mostly ignorant bullshit, I just go back to this type of stuff because it's the same type of stupid mindset. Acting however you want to act, acting like you have a chip on your shoulder, acting like somebody holding you back, but at the same time, you act like you have no sense. But let's watch this press conference to see what the real details are.
Okay. All right. Just really quick. Chief Manager, Chief of Department. Standing here with me is Chief Kip, Chief of Transit. Earlier today at about 1:30 p.m., the NYPD became aware of a crowd forming in Union Square. It was quickly determined that an influencer was posting on social media about showing up to Union Square and was encouraging all of his followers to come to the park.
That's how I say it's Kai's fault. This man, okay, so if you're not really aware of Twitch or what it is and how big it is, Twitch has been around for a very long time. And by very long time, I mean like maybe almost 2 decades or a decade and a half at this point. In my opinion, Kai is the biggest streamer because he has over 100,000, I think at this point, subscribers. And for a subscriber to come to you, it's not like YouTube. You pay to be a subscriber so you don't see ads on Twitch. So this guy, oh yeah, that's another thing too. Each sponsorship that a person or viewer can give you is $5. And oftentimes they'll split that cost or that revenue with Twitch itself. So let's say if Kai got 100,000 subscribers and each person paid $5, or they use a Twitch Prime, which is worth $5, that's like $500,000 right there a month minimum, just from subscribers, not including ads, sponsorships. Kai is part of an organization called AMP, which makes a lot of money, get a lot of views. All the other members of AMP get a lot of views too, so they are very, very rich. They also have YouTube channels to get ad revenue, so he makes a fuck ton of money. So he is the biggest Twitch streamer. For a while, it was like debate in my head between him and Asmongold, but Asmongold don't even stream on his main channel anymore. So the whole idea that, I don't know, that there's competition now really doesn't exist, because Asmongold is focused on organizations and businesses. Kai is dominating when it comes to actual streaming and entertainment.
There was some post also about giving away some gaming systems. At approximately 3 p.m., the post went viral, and thousands of people began to arrive at Union Square. Soon the park and the surrounding streets were overrun with people. They were obstructing both vehicular and pedestrian traffic. The NYPD responded by calling a mobilization in response to the large crowd. As the crowd grew, so did our mobilization. The crowd was swarmed when the influencer finally arrived at the park. Individuals in the park began to commit acts of violence towards the police and the public. There was a construction site within the Union Square Park, and people broke into the park and they began to throw articles that belonged to the construction site: paint cans, bottles, rocks. We had people walking around with shovels, axes, and other tools from the construction trade. And additionally, individuals were also lighting fireworks, and they were throwing them towards the police. They were throwing them towards each other.
See, man, like, but if one of those cars would have, if those cars would have got hit and then that person got caught and slammed to the ground, you would have saw stupid little kids recording, crying, talking about police brutality, acting like they didn't do anything at all. And like, please, you acting like animals for no damn good reason. Kai didn't say come to New York, come to Union Square and destroy it. He said come and meet him. It was still a stupid idea. I could have told him what was going to happen, because people are idiots, especially these teenagers nowadays with the music and the culture. But still, he didn't tell these people to destroy the city. They got, what, bored, stupid, ignorant. They got too hot for their brain to understand anything and decided to just destroy stuff because that's fun to them. These people just making kids and don't give a damn about the little shits that come out.
The influencer, we were able to eventually get him out of the park and remove him for safety reasons. Our officers exercised great restraint despite the aggression that they were met with and the acts of violence
A lot
they
of
were met
aggression.
with. Ultimately, myself and our leadership team, working in tandem with our department attorneys, did declare this gathering an unlawful assembly. The NYPD offered multiple, and I do mean multiple, opportunities for the crowd to leave. We tried to give them a means of egress for them to exit the park and exit the streets. After numerous warnings and after being assailed, hit with rocks and bottles and other debris, we started to make arrests to clear out the park. The total number of arrests is still being tallied at this point, and we're still doing evaluations for some of our members. We did have members that sustained some injuries out here. At this time, we successfully dispersed the park, but we still have crowds mulling around Manhattan, and we have officers following them, preventing them from destroying property, looting, and other things like that. And we'll continue to be out here, and we'll continue to disperse this crowd until they're all gone. We're using our drone technology to help us monitor the situation. Of course, our aviation unit is up there as well. Our officers are still being met with some resistance after numerous warnings, and we're still making some additional arrests. This mobilization is ongoing, and as I said before, we will be here until this crowd disperses. At this point, I'll take any questions.
We're going to start off with Josh Scheiniger, ABC7. Thank you, Chief.
Josh.
We've heard reports of injured officers. A woman told me she saw a cop getting jumped and beaten. We have video of you being attacked, and your shirt shows. Can you talk about injuries to members of the service and to your...
No, they don't. It doesn't matter about race either, because a lot of these people, like a lot of these dumbass kids in the crowd, and a lot of these Twitch streamers. Here's another thing too. A lot of these Twitch streamers, I hate how they call them influencers, because they really know little to jack shit what they're talking about when it comes to anything regarding politics, the world, and in terms of anything that's society or anything like that. But they'll love to give political views or societal views about nuanced topics just because of their quote unquote experiences or stuff they heard or read online. They don't do research, they don't read books, they wouldn't be famous for anything smart or intelligent. Oftentimes it's just entertainment. But still, they'll get these stupid kids to go and follow and believe what they say because that's their influencer, that's their entertainer. It's sad. It's a culture thing overall. It's not just Black Americans, it's Americans overall. If you have a celebrity or whoever, if they say something, it just seems like depending on the topic, people go along with it, and it's a joke.
Your own experience with the thing.
Absolutely, Josh. And I believe the woman's account is possibly right, even though I don't know exactly what she's speaking about. Our officers were attacked. We were in there. We were crushed. We were pushed. I had officers on the floor. As you see, I'm a little embarrassed because I'm very dirty right here, but I was in the middle of the crowd. I was hit with multiple objects as well. I think I have a couple of injuries, but I'll figure that out once I have time to think about it.
But in terms of any officers treated for injuries that you know of?
Yeah, we had one or two officers removed, and we had officers out here. I had officers who got hit and were hurt, but they stayed. They stayed and helped us to control this.
We're going to go Associated Press.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, sir.
I'm wondering if there is any kind of action that might be taken or could be taken against the influencer.
Absolutely. We're in contact with the influencer. I have our legal team here. I'm going to have a discussion with our Commissioner Caban in a little bit, and then we'll make a decision there.
Well, I'm wondering, though, if there's anything specific that you could be targeting with?
Well, we'll discuss with our legal department about inciting a riot and other charges.
We're going to go over to Matt.
Chief, were any of the youths injured? How many of them? What was the extent of the injuries? And was he actually giving away PlayStations, or was that just a claim?
That I'm not sure in terms of the PlayStation. I personally observed young people walking out with their heads bleeding from their heads, bleeding from on their faces. I personally observed young people having panic attacks, anxiety attacks, asthma attacks. There was multiple, people were suffering out here. It was a lot of people. It was uncontrolled. It took us a while to get it under control, and a lot of young people got hurt.
Was that in confrontations with the police, or was that in the riot?
No, most of it was within the park. The young people in the park throwing objects at each other. They were dancing. They were doing a whole lot of things, but they were hurting each other as they were doing this.
Why were they stealing stuff from the construction site? What was the reason?
That I don't have an answer for.
Matt, we're going to move on. Mark Morales, CNN.
Hey,
Mark.
What's the estimate as to how many people were here, and where is this YouTuber streaming at? What precinct is he in?
We do have him. I don't know exactly which precinct he's in. We have him. In terms of people, there was thousands of people out here. It wasn't hundreds of people. There was thousands, and mostly young people out here.
All right, Dean Moses, AM New York.
This isn't the first time something like this has happened after the giveaway. You guys can get ready to try and prevent this for the future?
We're going to definitely work on this. This is something we will have an after-action review of in terms of
Tell me, what's so cool about surrounding somebody else's car and jumping on it like you have no sense? Tell me, what's so hype about this? I saw the videos like on Instagram and other social media pages of like stuff that was going on. You had kids like taking selfies, recording. I can only assume posting online because somehow, some way, they find this cool. It makes them, I don't know, a real one, I don't know, not a lame or any other stupid ass mindset they have. Like, I don't get it. What's so cool about wasting your day and getting involved in a riot? You have nothing better to do with your life or your time. But it's your parents' fault. It's also their fault too, but it's also the parents.
we responded, how we're monitoring social media, and how we can prevent this in the future. We have encountered things like this before, but it never to this level of dangerousness where young people would not listen to our commands. They were fighting each other, they were hurting each other, and they were turning our attacks on us. We had to defend.
This doesn't surprise me at all because this happens in Chicago and other places, especially Chicago. I know that for a fact because I did a couple of videos on it. In Chicago, they trying to have a volunteer like force of adults, I guess, to control teenagers during the summer because they're on summer break away from school and they're destroying the city. So they literally try to have people work for free to control teenagers who don't even listen to their parents or police. Like, seriously, this is a joke. I don't give a damn how old you are. I don't give a fuck about your background. I don't care, like, you say you grew up like this or somebody somewhere holding you back. All that is nonsense and excuses. There's no reason why you have to act like this. You just want to act like an animal because you're retarded. That's it. You're retarded. And I hope you mature and rise up as you age.
Ourselves and we had to make arrests.
Alfredo Costa, Telemundo.
Approximately, Chief, how many people were arrested today?
Quite a few. I don't have an exact answer. We loaded up a city bus. The bus, we had young people attacking the bus, trying to pull people off the bus. We had to send resources there to protect the bus. It was a very dangerous situation.
Anthony Di Lorenzo, Pix 11.
Chief, the question is, how does something like this happen?
Because Kai's an idiot.
Or anything on your radar that this massive influencer was coming to you? I know that you're supposed to have a permit. I heard he doesn't have a permit, but was this at all on your radar? And how did you let it get bigger than the permit?
Well, this speaks to the power of social media and the danger of social media. We do monitor social media. When I go back later on this evening, I will have an after action to determine exactly what our steps were. We can't allow this to happen again in the future.
All right, we're going to take one more question. Joe Marino, New York Post.
Chief, just to be clear, this wasn't pre-planned with the city. There was no coordination between this event producer and anyone in the department or the city. This was a totally spontaneous event that just sort of jumped off and grew and accelerated very quickly.
Yes, this was not pre-planned with the police department. This was something that was spontaneous. And as I just said in answering the last question, the power of social media, the danger of social media. Listen, we're not against young people having a good time. We're not against young people gathering. But it can't be to this level where it's dangerous. A lot of people got hurt today.
All right, thank you everyone for your time and attention. Thank you, folks. Thank you. I got his name. Thank you, everyone.
All right, that was a live, raw, and unfiltered news conference there in New York City, as we did see folks with the NYPD giving an update saying that several officers were injured after those hundreds upon hundreds of people did show up there in Union Square Park. We had that video that just showed people everywhere climbing on top of buildings and also holding onto vehicles. You also heard that an unknown amount of arrests were made by the NYPD on.
Okay, I think he's just recapping what we already just watched. Listen, I said it before and I'll say it again. It could be a climate activist on the interstate. It could be somebody in the street rioting. It could be something like this. I don't care. If you surround somebody's car, vehicle, trying to break in, hitting the windows, acting like you're trying to attack them, and they and they hit that gas on you, well, I'm not finna feel bad for what happens to you. Now, I will say I wish you didn't do that because I'd rather you be alive. I'd rather you grow up. I'd rather you have a life and mature and enjoy the fruits of life that it can offer. But if you decide to be a dumbass and decide to try to attack people, cars, and try to attack people within their cars, and they fully within themselves to get away from you, and they hit that gas, I'm not gonna feel bad. You did it to yourself. They can put you on a t-shirt for all I care. Because at the end of the day, you want to be a dumbass. You want to act all hard. You want to act like an animal. You want to make it seem like destroying people's property for no damn good reason. Besides, you just stupid and ignorant. You get what you get. I'm not going to cry for you. I'm not going to feel bad for you. I'll leave that stuff to your family and your parents. Because those are the people who to blame, including yourself. They should have raised you better. They should have taught you better. They should have controlled you better. You don't got the right to act like an animal. Act like you're stupid, act like you have no class, no home training, because you're capable of better. But for some reason at all, can't conceive of, know what I make an excuse for, you want to act like you don't know shit. You want to act like you don't know better. Because of a influencer? Give me a freaking break. I'm so grateful I didn't grow up in this generation where you just had no recollection of being outside. Like Ram, he says it all the time. And I completely agree with him when he says this stuff. Me and him and our close friends and our generation of friends, we grew up with social media, but it wasn't until like high school, middle school when it was popping off. So we had tons of years of just talking to each other in person. Years of us just hanging out outside together in person, developing a relationship, not putting our stock in these people online, doing stupid shit just for the sake of seeing somebody online or whatever the hell it may be. Act like you have no sense or home training. And then this culture make it seem like it's a good thing. Something to defend. It's a joke. Like at the end of the day, I don't want Kai to, lose his freedom, but he do suffer. He should suffer some consequences for what he did. This is his fault. He made these people come together. He incited this stuff. He said, let's meet up randomly in New York City, a place that's already packed as fuck, that he knows for a fact he has a ton of fans in because he's like worldwide popular. He went to Japan like a month ago and he had fans there, many, many fans there. So it's not like he's not known. I said it before, I said it again. He is the most popular Twitch streamer. And in my opinion, it's not even close at this point. The only person that was close was Asmongold, and Asmongold don't even give a fuck enough to stream on his main channel. Asmongold got enough clout and enough followers and fans, he could have a separate channel, a low-key channel that he streams on instead of his main channel and still get 20k viewers. But still, in my opinion, I'll give it to Kai because he has the numbers. He has consistency. It's proven for like almost a year now. And the fact that he thinks, or anybody at all, fan or not, that he isn't responsible for this is a joke. It's stupid. And I hate this ignorant mindset where you want to say, it's not my fault, it's not Kai's fault, it's not our fault. It's somebody else's fault, it's the police's fault. If the police didn't show up, none of this would have happened. Well, that's a lie, because y'all were destroying shit and acting like animals before they showed up. Luckily, we had good cops like the one I was talking in press conference to control you. And I'm not going to be feeling bad about it. Some of these same people want to say, screw the police, fuck the police, we don't need police, all this other nonsense. Abolish the police, all this other bullshit. Like, it's really stupid. When I was mentioning earlier about influencer and Twitch streamer just saying stupid shit and not really stand by it, it is very much true. They'll say political stuff, they'll say society stuff, they'll talk about race and police and all this stuff, but they really have no idea what they're talking about. They don't study, they don't research, they mostly be on bullshit. They be on fucking stuff that just involves entertainment and nothing that really takes, critical thinking in the way of, politics or how the world should work or society moving forward or anything like that. I could name a few, but it's really no point. This is all about Kai, but there's other people like him, and hopefully those other people don't do this. Hopefully Kai doesn't do this again, because if he does, I can only imagine it's gonna be a worse consequence. I don't want to see him in prison, but he should still pay for what he did, however the judge or however the cops see fit. I'm not gonna feel bad for him, because at the end of the day, he did it to himself. I'm not gonna feel bad for these kids that got arrested because they did it to themselves. Act like you have some sense. It's a home training. But their parents, I don't know what the hell you were. Oh, well, you probably was at work. I'm sorry. If you have good parents, like the good parents who had kids in that crowd, unfortunately, and you know that for a fact, I'm not gonna automatically say this is like completely your fault, because you could have been at work or something like that and they snuck out. Because kids will be kids, teenagers will be teenagers. But at the end of the day, parents that don't give a damn about their children have no type of discipline and they just do bullshit like this, think it's cool with no consequence. Like, yeah, you ain't shit. Just like your kid, just like your son, your daughter, anybody that was out there acting like an asshole. You ain't shit just like them. And that's why our community are the way they are. Not because of racism or any of this bullshit. We could turn all the shit around we deal with if we just focus on ourselves. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. It's your boy Logos. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Peace.